Hey guys, welcome back to Ben Talk Sports. So Kevin Durant is one of the best players in the league, a 10-time All-Star, 4-time scoring champion, 2-time NBA champion, and Finals MVP. And he was able to accomplish these feats mainly because, he's freaking Kevin Durant, but also with the help of some very talented teammates that he has had over the past 12 seasons. And with James Harden recently being traded to the Nets to reunite with KD again, that had me thinking about KD's prior teammates. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking Kevin Durant's top 6 teammates. Now I don't have a perfect ranking system, but I will be taking into account their talent and just overall how well they were able to mesh with KD. But before we start though, please smash that like button as it really helps out the channel. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting off the list at number 6, Draymond Green. In 3 seasons that Green played with Durant, he averaged about 9.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 7.1 assists per game. But judging Draymond's game by his stats are like judging how good smartphones are just by their spec sheet and not by actually using them. Draymond is a very special type of player. He's someone you love to play with but hate to play against. As a former Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond's rim protection is the most significant, while Draymond's ability to guard on the perimeter enables Golden State to run a switch-heavy defense as Green is adept at guarding point guards as much as centers. Golden State kicks their team into high gear when it moves Draymond to the center position, but he is primarily a forward that initiates the offense off the dribble, on the wing, from the post, and off the break. He passes to shooters and cutters for easy shots, and Durant was able to benefit off this as well. Draymond's passing ability and vision, combined with KD's amazing shooting and ability to attack off the catch, makes them a great combo. But compared to all the guys ranked in front of him, Draymond definitely falls short of them. Plus, one of the reasons Kevin decided to leave Golden State was because of him and Green had some disagreements in their last season together. In an interview with ESPN, Durant was asked whether the incident in LA played a role in his decision to leave the Warriors, and he responded with, your teammate talked to you that way. You think about it a bit. But we've talked about it, but definitely it was a factor for sure. I'm not gonna lie about it. But despite that, Draymond is still an all-star at the end of the day, and the 6th best teammate of Kevin Durant. Number 5, Klay Thompson. Now, Klay Thompson is just one of those players whose playstyle just fits with any player and any team. So when KD joined Golden State in the summer of 2016, that allowed Klay to get even easier shots because the defenses needed to focus on 2 former MVPs. And because of that, Klay, as the great shooter that he is, flourished as the 3rd option on the team. But despite taking a back seat as the 3rd option, he was still putting up averages of 21.3 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 2.3 assists, while shooting nearly 42% from behind the arc. Now, Klay was definitely a way better defender than his one all-defense selection would suggest, and when he is healthy, might be the best 3-and-D wing in the league. But after the 2019 finals, which he tore his ACL, and now suffering from an Achilles injury, the same injury which Durant just recovered from, let's hope Klay can have a smooth rehab and return to being Killer Klay. Number 4, Kyrie Irving. Now it's going to be a little hard to rank Kyrie any higher than 4th because even though they have been teammates for 2 seasons now, we've only seen about a handful of games from them as a duo. But for what I have seen, they work amazingly together. From their first game as a duo, they combined for 48 points. Now Kyrie ranks in front of Klay because he has shown that he can be a star and lead his team to the playoffs as the number 1 option. I'm not saying that Klay can't do that, but he's never been put in that position before. But anyway, we all know Kyrie is one of the most skillful players in the NBA, with his crafty finishes around the rim and his wizardry ball handling skills. So even though Kyrie has only played a handful of games with KD, we've all seen how good Kyrie can be as the Robin to an all-time great small forward. So hopefully, we will see them holding up the Larry O'Brien trophy this season. Number 3, Russell Westbrook. Now this might be a controversial spot to put Russ in. I mean, he is the player that is most tied with Durant, and they were teammates for most of their time in the league. But the reason I can't rank Russ any higher is that his playstyle never really suited Durant. Watching them as teammates in OKC was one of the best shows in basketball. But sometimes it was just frustrating watching Russ play. He refused to play off the ball and had bad shot selection, which is still something that haunts him till this day.
To this day.
And when they were teammates, they were too much of like a 1A and 1B. Even their former teammate, Kendrick Perkins, said in an interview, "There was always controversy over whose team it was. Why can't it just be both of y'all's teams?" But despite the chemistry issues, they were still able to make the playoffs as a duo almost every single season together, and actually made it to the finals once in 2012, which they lost to LeBron and the Heat. But at that time, they were looking like one of the best up-and-coming teams that would make even more finals appearances. But that never happened. After they traded James Harden to the Rockets, the closest they've ever gotten was in 2016, which they made it to the Western Conference Finals to face off against the 73-9 Warriors, and I think we all know what happens next. Their chemistry issues showed up yet again in that series and blew a 3-1 lead, and Durant would jump ship to the Warriors in that offseason. So that made Russ real mad and turned him into the triple-double machine that we know now. Number 2, James Harden. Now Harden is quite an interesting story. So he played with Durant with two teams, once as a Thunder and now as a Net. Now let's talk about his OKC days first. When Harden was drafted back in 2009, KD was actually really fond of Harden, stating, "I wanted Harden. I was watching him closely, checked out his pre-draft workouts, looked at mock drafts, trying to see if he'd go number 2. When Harden played with Durant in OKC, he was a vastly different player than he is now, and came off the bench as a sixth man. But he was part of that young Thunder trio that made it to the finals in 2012. But when OKC traded Harden, that created one of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history. Fast forward 9 years later, we would see Harden and Durant reunite again, as Harden forced his way out of Houston to pair up with KD and Kyrie. And in his first game in a Nets jersey, he set an NBA record, becoming the first player to record a 30-point triple-double in his debut with the team. And with the Nets being one of the favorites to win the championship, let me know in the comments down below if you think they can go all the way this season. Finally, at number 1, Stephen Curry. I mean, was there really any doubt who number 1 would be? Even though KD said in an interview that it was a toss-up between Russ and Steph as his best teammates, we all know he was just trying not to hurt Russell's feelings. But getting back to Curry, as a duo, they were absolutely unstoppable, and with most teams choosing to double team Steph and not KD, that opened up easy scoring opportunities for Durant. Also, with Curry's ability to shoot and his amazing off-ball movement, it was a match made in heaven, and they went on to win 2 championships together, solidifying them as one of the greatest duos of all time, and Steph as Kevin Durant's best teammate of all time. So that's my ranking of Kevin Durant's 6 best teammates of all time. So let me know in the comment section, who do you think I left off this list? And also let me know what kind of video ideas you guys want me to make. So with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching this video. We are pushing for 1,000 subscribers in 2021. So if you guys liked it, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications as I upload new videos every single week. And thanks for watching.